I was so close there. I was so close. Nearly got it. Nearly. I even set a timer for myself that time and I still messed it up. Ugh. Right. Let's say hello. Hello, Senate. Kenneth, the Cackling Kobold. Ace from Space. Hello, Duppy. Hello, Salty. Hello, Nonora and Nobody. And Zingbone, Plebiscide. Gunwitch and Shane and James and Traitor Guardsman and Ragin. And a Regulator. Kurosu Fenris Wolf. Hello, Aaron. Ugh. Good morning, Brian. And Prism. Barton Farm? Have I misread there? No, I can't have done. Surely. Yeah, no, I was correct. Mr. Teabag. Hello, Michael. Ugh. How are we all doing? It's Friday. We've made it through the week collectively. We achieved. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, okay. I'm with you now. I'm with you now on the Barton Farm thing. Hello, David. Hello, Brendan. Hello, Forge Paradox. Making some coffee while studying. I'm being good and I'm not drinking coffee. Because I've already drunk coffee. So, yeah. I'm not being good. I'm just not having, like, a third cup of it. Hello, Alistair. How are we all doing? We all looking forward to the weekend? Do we all have the weekend off? I don't. I'm still trying to play catch up on that week that I missed due to being... I was going to say due to being ill now that I'm better, but you can clearly tell that I'm not actually... I'm not actually better. I'm just better than I was, which is something. Could be worse. Could be a lot worse. I could still be in horrible pain, but I'm not. So that's, you know, at least a thing. Oh, thank you very much, Aaron. Welcome in. Homesick from work, a regulator. Oh, that sucks. Hang from going to see Tesseract in Bristol last night. Oh, awesome. You sound like I feel. Yeah, that's it. I'm trying so hard to summon energy, but I just don't have. I don't have a lot of it going spare at the moment. I don't have a lot of it going spare, which is a lot of what the title for the stream is about. That's pretty funny. So wait, J Bond, you saw Tesseract in Bristol last night, and then Michael, you're going to see them in London tonight. Nice. This isn't even a Nurgle thing, Guardsman. This is, like, I don't know what... Well, I know what it is. I know what the problem is, but it's just medication side effects. Hello, Overlord Majos. Resisting the urge to buy some Grey Knights this weekend. Bought the Chaos Gate game, so getting the itch. Oh, it's... I tell you what, it's tempting. As soon as you start playing a game that has a particular faction in, it makes you want to just pick up that faction. It's dangerous. Deciding whether to start painting my custom Custodes Kratos tank or build the Khan. I would go for the tank, but then again, I'm a bit biased. I'm a little bit biased towards that sort of thing. I'm fairly new to playing Warhammer. I managed to snag a painted Mortarion for £60 this month. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. On week 1 of new meds, I can empathise fully. Yeah, it's garbage, isn't it? It sucks. Had a lot of insomnia over the last few weeks. And when I can sleep, my dreams are weird. Sleeping sucks. Why do you have to do it? Yeah, the sleeping thing is... I've now moved into not sleeping overnight. Just really struggling to sleep overnight. And then just falling asleep without warning during the day, which is horrendous. Like, I will sit down and be like, okay, I just need to sit down for a minute because I just feel a little bit tired. And then one of my kids will, like, shake me awake and be like, we've tried to leave you, but please can we have a drink? And it's like, oh, God, it's so bad. I've failed it again. Barry is still great because I can't find him. No, Jack, I've not been playing anything recently, to be honest. Well, apart from Elden Ring. I've been playing Elden Ring, the co-op mod. The seamless co-op mod, because it's amazing. But other than that, Oh, thank you, Cassie. Hopefully, like in a week or so, this will have worn off and I'll be back to normal a bit. Hello, Sleeth. Yeah, Prism. It's just a pain. It's just an absolute pain. Can't wait for new Kroot if they ever have them in stock. I mean, you never know. If you're lucky, you might get the initial box, and then you'll just have to wait a year or two to pick up anything else. That's how it normally seems to go at the moment. I'm looking forward to the DLC. I've managed to. I as soon as I saw that the trailer was being announced, I unsubscribed from the Elden Ring subreddit and I muted it on Twitter because I don't want to go. I want to go in blind. Like I don't want to see what is in there. All I want to do is like have someone tell me how to get into the DLC, and that's it. I don't want to know what's there. I don't want to know who I'm likely to fight. I don't want to know what the new enemies are. I don't really want to know what the new weapons are, if there are any. I want it to be like a surprise. So I'm trying to. I mean, the chances of avoiding all of that until what, it was 21st of June or something it's supposed to launch. The chances of achieving no spoilers all the way until June is highly unlikely, but I'm doing my best. Thank you, Goof. The fun part is going to be the new Krutox cavalry being made out of sprue like the rest of the Sprout memes. That would be pretty good. Oh, thank you very much, Gunwitch. Welcome into the club. Yeah, I have to admit, that is something that I wanted to talk about a little bit today, because I have felt like this week's videos have not been very good. And it's not for want of trying. But there's been a lot of like, it's not just been, hello the Bulldog, it's not just been like the new medication. You get into the DLC from the egg in the Moog Lord of Blood boss fight room. Okay, awesome. Right, I will remember that. Thank you. Excellent, Neil. Thank you very much. Now I don't have to risk looking for that. I'll just know. Yeah, it's not just been the medication. It's been like the combination of being knocked about by that, and then last week, because I was only able to do like one thing. I only streamed on Monday and did like one video all week because I was physically incapable of doing anything else. Like it wasn't a case of me going, oh, I feel a bit off, so I just won't bother. I was literally in too much pain to function on a day-to-day basis. Like I could barely do anything. Normally, like I do the cooking in the house. My wife had to do the cooking and stuff because I was just physically not capable of doing it because of how much pain I was in. That week off absolutely wrecked the channel because there was nothing to upload, because there was no videos to throw out in the meantime, because there was no streams. It completely trashed the channel. So things like the estimated revenue dropped by a massive amount, to the point where like what I'm going to get paid for this month from YouTube is so small it's actually scary. And then coming off the back of that, when you're then trying to compete with new medication that is knocking you about and making you so tired all the time and making it so difficult to record, and then once I've recorded, it's like it takes so much energy to do one thing that then I've got to try and dip into reserves I don't have to do the next thing. So like I'll record for like 10-20 minutes and it'll take ages to do. And then I kind of sit there and I'm like, okay, I just need a moment, just a minute before I start editing, because I can't edit off the back of recording because I'm physically too exhausted to do it. Which then just means that gap becomes like insurmountable. It's like, okay, well, I've got to try not to go to sleep, because if I go to sleep, then I won't be able to finish what I was doing. I won't be able to edit because, I've got kids and I've got to look after them. And so everything gets kind of crammed into like a couple of hours of the day, which just means that the end product is not good. But at the same time, I can't afford to take another week off, because if I do, the already like pathetic amount will just become less. And the more time you take off, the worse it gets. Like, there's no kind of recovery fund. There's no point at which YouTube goes, actually, you know what? I don't think this channel should be punished for having a week of no uploads. It just gets worse, which just adds to the stress of, you know, you're already feeling ill, or you're already feeling exhausted, but you know you can't take a break, because if you take a break, it'll get worse. But if you don't take a break, you won't recover. And I don't know, the last 2 weeks it's really knocked me about. Thank you very much, J-Bond. I especially at the moment, like, memberships make such a huge difference. Memberships and super chats make a massive difference. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. It's sort of made me. It's almost given me like instant burnout. Like, I was doing okay. I was kind of like, ad revenue isn't the best at the moment, and the game is in a weird place. Like 40k or Games Workshop products as a whole are sort of in a weird place on YouTube, where a lot of us are kind of struggling a bit because, you know, numbers are just down a bit, which it just happens sometimes, and it's happening to everyone. But it's like, it's something that was approachable and I could deal with, and it wasn't a problem, and it wasn't like getting on top of me. But I don't know, having last week off because of, I mean, it's not having last week off. I keep making it sound like I just decided that I was going to not do anything for a week. That's not true. Yeah, not being able to do anything last week hit the channel really hard, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's messed me up a bit this time round, because it's happened before. Like, I'm also kind of a bit sick of just being ill constantly, but that's something that apparently shows no signs of changing. It's just varying degrees of what sort of illness it's going to be. But yeah, it's, when I say it's knocked my confidence, it's kind of knocked it in multiple different ways, where it's not just kind of thank you, Ace from Space, and welcome in, David. Thank you for joining, Just a Jester. Yeah, it's really tricky, because I really enjoy doing this, and even when I've felt at my most like, it kind of feels a bit like YouTube is slapping me around a bit, I've still got the enjoyment out of it. That's meant that I've just kind of been able to push that aside and go, you know what? No, I'm still enjoying it. It's still really fun, and that's kind of been hit pretty hard the last 2 weeks. Thank you, Dunra. That, like, yeah. It's frustrating. I guess that's the main thing. It's just been very, very frustrating. Really frustrating. Thank you, Sandra and Barton Farm. And see, now you're being really nice and you're being really generous, and I'm now feeling like I'm not deserving of that. So it feels like I'm setting, even in like multiple ways, setting myself up to like to not win, where it's yeah, you can probably just tell it's just been very, very, very frustrating and alarming, and just kind of like, I've not, in all the time I've been doing this, properly had a time where I've sat there and gone, is it easier if I just stop and just do something else? Like, just stop now. Just not even upload a video, but just go, this is too much. And then just try and do something different. And I've had that thought, and I don't want to have that thought, because I enjoy it so much when I'm not dealing with all the other stuff as well, you know? Welcome in, Rajian. Thank you so much for joining up. The thing is, as well, I mean, you are right, Brendan. Like, there are people retiring and people getting fed up of the platform, and that's totally understandable. But I think the thing that's been alarming to me is that I've never there's like moments where I think everyone probably goes through this, where there's moments where you sit down and you're like, I'm just a bit fed up of this today. But you know full well that that'll stop and that'll change, and then you will, you'll get up the next morning and be like, oh no, it was a blip, it was a one-off, it's fine, it's done. But to have that kind of constant feeling of being too far behind to catch up, to constantly feel like you're not doing enough, but that simultaneously what you are doing is like physically impacting you in a negative way. It just creates this little kind of constant swirl of like just feeling completely off and completely like things aren't working and that what you're doing isn't enough, but it's simultaneously too much to maintain. And it just becomes such a massive web of like contradictions and like pulling apart, and it's just really got to me, especially like the last couple of days. It's been very, very frustrating to deal with. Thank you very much, Avian Lion. Welcome in. Yeah, but this is all as well like part and parcel of like having issues with depression and anxiety. And the main reason that I wanted to talk about it today and do it like live is because you lot do support me, and you do support the channel, and you do watch the videos, and you do comment, and you do, make the whole thing worth doing. And I really don't like the kind of idea of struggling with stuff related to the channel and just going, I'm just not going to tell anyone though. Because it's not just my, when I say it's not just my business, in terms of like the videos that you get and the stuff that you watch, and the kind of interaction that we have, be it via live streams or through comments or through Twitter or whatever, I didn't want to just kind of ignore it and pretend everything was fine and then just move on and then just not talk about it, because I don't like that. I prefer to be open about when things aren't going well. I prefer to be open about when things are a struggle, or when things are slowing down, or if there's been, some sort of big issue with either, videos or streaming or whatever. I much prefer to be honest about what's happening. And I don't know, doing it via a stream where you can actually like, where we can talk about it properly, where if you want to ask questions or if you have things that you want to say about it, you can, and I can like read it in real time and respond to it in real time. That's better than I think just doing a video again, because I've done that before and it does work. But yeah, even during fairly severe episodes in the past, like depressive episodes, I've kind of at least found doing things like this, like making videos and stuff, a bit of like a highlight of the day, and it's been something to aim for and something to kind of focus on, and something to actually put positive attention on, even when everything else feels quite negative, or you're in that really horrific grey zone where like nothing is fun but also nothing is anything. Like I hate that particular like depressive stage where everything is just blank and there's no fun, there's no enjoyment, there's also no like frustration or upset. Those are the worst bits, but making videos and having things to focus on like that help me with that sort of thing. This is like the first time really that I can think of where trying to do what I enjoy has actively made me feel worse, and I don't want to pretend that isn't happening, and I also don't want to just end up kind of saying one day, oh well, actually after this this really kind of horrific illness or like issue that I had, I've been struggling ever since, but I just didn't tell you. I don't want to do that. That doesn't feel right. So yeah, Brendan, it's you kind of have to talk about it. It tries to isolate you. That's one of the biggest things with depression, especially, is it tries to put you in a little box and put you in the dark away from everybody else, including people who have shared that experience, so that all you can do is think about how you're the only person dealing with it and how no one is going to be able to help. And like that, it's a scary thing that it does. It's a scary thing that it does. Oh, Damien, I'm sorry. I'm glad the videos are helping. See, this is the other thing as well. Like, I'm also very aware that I might upload something and think that was crap. Like, that was really bad. I shouldn't have uploaded that. But then there will be comments from people saying they enjoyed it. At which point it's like, well, am I just thinking that because I'm in that sort of mind space where everything would be bad, or am I being like I don't know. There's been a lot of just very inward looking frustration and I think genuine anger as well. There's a lot of it sounds really childish, and in fact I did this not that long ago, where I was having a really severe migraine, like a really bad migraine, one of the worst ones I'd ever had a few months ago, and I just couldn't move properly. I was just so nauseous. My balance was gone, and I couldn't see properly, and my head was like really messed up, and I like just in a lot of pain. And I remember sitting down on the edge of the bed because my wife had to help me upstairs because I couldn't walk properly, and just looking at her and going, "It's not fair." And it was a proper like childish tantrum where I was like, "What have I done? Why? Like, what did I do to deserve this?" And it kind of has felt a bit like that, you know. It's felt a little bit like, you know, could I just a week or two without something would be great. But it's like that's just life. That just happens. Which, you know, it kind of going, it's not fair, doesn't really achieve anything in any way, and it doesn't help anyone. And the answer is, well, no, it's not. But that's just welcome to being a human being. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a little bit like that the last couple of weeks. Just every time I've kind of overworked, but not really had enough time to do as much work as I've wanted.
$20 from Brian Wagner. Can't commit to a recurring bill right now, but hopefully this little bit helps.
Thank you so much, Brian. Hey, Doreen was instant there. Did you see how quick Doreen was then? Brian, you haven't just woken Doreen up. You haven't just woken her up. She was on it. Oh my god, that's like the quickest she's ever... It's like the quickest she's ever been. Doreen loves Brian. I've been ranting a lot. Sorry, let me go back up and catch up a bit. Having that blank stage was I knew I should probably speak to my GP. Yeah, Mr. Glitch, it's so important to go and actually talk to someone as soon as you can. As soon as you realise it's become a problem, you've kind of got to do it. You've got to do it. It's good that you went to speak to them though as well, because that's something else. It's really tempting not to sometimes. Oh, thank you so much, Demo. Thank you very much. Quality is a subjective thing. That's also true, Doug. I mean, to be honest, for me, a lot of the time, like, not a lot of the time, quite often, I will find myself kind of going, I don't know if that's any good. But the thing is, I will say that, then I'll upload it, and the video will do super well, and people will tell me that it was good, and it's like, well, was I saying that because it wasn't good, or was I saying that because I just typically have a lower opinion of what I do than other people, you know? That's the issue with anxiety and depression. We end up being unnecessarily self-critical. Yeah, you're totally right, Tommy. Thank you, Angry Allosaur. You too. Overthinking, analysing, I do it regularly, but I've had depressive episodes where I just curl up under my blanket and don't move until the little one comes past me. I mean, any depressive episode is not great.
$4.99 from Devon Everart. Migraines are the worst. I've had a few bad ones where I've slept in the dog bed because I couldn't make it to mine.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Devin. It's yeah, they are horrendous, aren't they? It's just like quite often what I get is I get like static in my vision before it happens, and I can't remember when it was. It might have quite a while ago now, I think, where I just fully like couldn't see properly, and I just sat there, and I was on my own in the house in this chair because I was mid edit on something, and I just said out loud, "Oh fuck you," and I just leaned all the way back, grabbed my hoodie, put it over myself, closed my eyes, and just sat here for like 2.5 hours until it eased off a little bit and was able to go and actually get some proper painkillers. But I had a bad back after that one. This knackered chair that I've got, it's not ergonomic. It's not comfortable for napping or being ill in. It sucks. It's really bad. Thanks to the latest press episode, I did manage to finish the end of the Death Volume 3. Well, you know, I mean, for the next series, don't feel like you have to have another episode to finish it off. That's all I'll say. I've been binge watching all your previous videos, both on the channel and with Adeptus Ridiculous this week. It's been a hard week, but your content. I'm really glad to hear that, Ryan. Thank you. Had the same feeling with long COVID. It's taken me down for over 2 years. Yeah. I've had pneumonia a couple of times, Prism, and it just how long it lasts, it just drains you. It's so frustrating. Single parent, I don't have the time to feel bad about myself. I have 2 kids who depend on me. Well, that's the thing, guys. Like Trader Guardsman, I don't feel bad for myself in front of my children. Like, they come first. I'll look after them, and then when they're asleep or in bed or, you know, they want to watch a film, that's my designated things are bad time. But in front of them, I very rarely like draw the focus to me at all, unless I'm by myself and I have a migraine, in which case, like, physically there's not much I can do about that. I have to ask them to watch a film for a bit so I can try and recover a bit. But that's just one of those things where they know full well that when it comes to, like, especially like a physical illness, like, there's just nothing you can do. You know, they've both been ill before and they've both wanted to be left alone, so they're good kids. They know that if I suddenly sit there and I'm like, oh, this is bad, they know that there's nothing I can really do about it apart from wait it out. After following you for 4 years, this is the first time I've been able to catch a stream. I'm really glad this is what I managed to join in on. I'm glad you've managed to catch one, Avian Line. And thank you for watching for 4 years. Okay, I'm trying to catch up. I talked nonsense for so long. So long. Life is never fair. We still find rays of sunshine no matter what happens. Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's very, like, it's just been, like, kind of, this sucks and it's not on. But then the next day, it's like, yeah, no shit, get on with it, which is generally what I do for the most part. I made myself a set of cards that basically say if you feel like X, do Y because it helps. That's actually a really good idea. That's a really good idea. That's a great idea. Your videos are good. Thank you, Zingbo. It took me 12 months to get a sympathetic doctor for depression. That sucks. Where are you? Why has it taken that long? Ugh. Yeah, Dunra. I'm in private therapy. I mean, I'm not having any currently, annoyingly, because my therapist is on holiday. Which is like this is the 2 weeks that I really could have done with a bit of that. But you know what? It's just how it goes sometimes. You've got a community of people who are willing to support you, which are a testament to your character and the good vibes you bring to the hobby. Thank you, Avian Lion. If you thought you were doing great work all the time, you'd be insufferable. Yeah, no, I don't. I think that's probably true. I don't think I think I'm probably incapable of thinking that I do great work all the time, Jazz Hunt. I don't think that's something I'm actually physically capable of doing. Oh. I've just noticed, has the members tracker gone mad again? Has it gone off? Has it gone off its face again? I think it has. I think it's counted some doubles again, hasn't it? I can't. You know what? I'm going to stop using that. I'm just going to put a manual one in. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Thank you, Astartes Party. In a lot of ways, we're our own worst enemy. Yep. Currently going through the same thing. You actually helped diagnose this stuff for me. I'm going from MRI. Actually got it in a week and a half. That's awesome. Brilliant. I'm glad you're getting help for it. I'm really glad you're getting help for it, Astartes Party. Having had 5 months of a long COVID constant migraine in 2022, I'm done ever. Oh, Jesus Christ, Arhane, that is awful. Ugh. Yeah, Margaret, the Wi-Fi's on just all the time. I don't know. I have a horrible feeling if I turn off the wireless hub that I've got, it might not turn on again. I'm not sure. Hello, Filmunk Productions. Basically, just updating everyone as to how how miserable and not good the last 2 weeks have been, and just trying to be open and honest about kind of where I'm at in terms of like making videos and stuff. Gaunt's Ghost Audiobooks next. Hopefully not listening to them in bed. Yeah. Hello, I'm just a lurker. Depression is a struggle. Have you thought of making some extra non-time sensitive videos when you... You know what? I have... I try and do that, Pappy Carney. I really do, but I'm trying to find somewhere locally where I can get like my complete lack of like attention span, like try and work out what's going on with that, because it's been getting a lot worse and it's impacting the channel, it's impacting everything. I just really struggle to stick to one thing at a time, and it's making it really difficult to like have a backlog. And like I know full well that some of the member goals that there are for the channel, I'm not keeping up with. I'm just not keeping up with them, and I know I should be, but I sit down to do something and then I end up like getting distracted by doing something else, and then I get distracted and then jump onto something else and then something else, and then I get to the end of the day and it's like, oh, I've started 8 things and I've finished nothing, but none of them are close enough to being completed to warrant like starting them first thing tomorrow, because they're all in like early stages and I've not actually done anything. It's so frustrating, and I need to find out why, because it's definitely getting worse. I've always been a bit like that, but I've at least been able to plan ahead, and I've been able to get stuff, you know, made in advance of different days and stuff. But it's been getting increasingly severe where I'm just not getting stuff. No, I'm not getting stuff done that I should be. It's very annoying. Welcome in, Rasmus. I'm sorry I missed you a little bit there because I was trying to catch up, but thank you very much for joining. I struggle with severe anxiety. Yeah, same. Hard same. Oh, I'm going to a thing next month, right? I'm going to a thing next month, and it's somewhere that I've not been before, to do something I've not done before, and I emailed back. I emailed back to the company, and
$2.79 from Astartes Party. Love Yarmanda, what you can we understand.
Thank you, Astartes Party. Yeah, I agreed to this thing. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then I immediately messaged Mikey from Hellstorm Wargaming, and I was like, mate, have you been invited to this thing? Because I've just said yes, and I don't unless you're going, I don't think I'm going to know anyone there, and my anxiety is immediately wrecking me. I was like, let's do it. Send the email, and then my entire brain went, you're not going to know anyone. You don't know where to park. You don't know where the venue is. You don't know how to play the thing that you're going to be playing. No one is going to know who you are. you're not supposed to be there. And I was like, oh, god damn it. So immediately emailed Mikey and was like, please help. Please tell me you're going. Right, let me go back to where was I? I've had similar issues in my work as a musician. Keep going. The discipline of keeping going with creating has always helped me get through the darker times. That is something. I have to admit, I know it's not been great the last couple of weeks because kit bashing and painting is like my recovery time, and I've not kit bashed or painted anything for a couple of weeks now, and that's bad. Like that's real bad. That's bad. You know that things aren't good if I'm like just not doing the thing that makes me feel better. That's the warning sign. Well, that's the thing, Jazz Hunt. I've been told by quite a few people at this stage that it pretty much seems like it's most likely an ADHD thing. Okay, hello, Decknell. How you doing? It's been a pretty rough 2 weeks, but I have to admit, getting all of it out there and just telling you guys what's going on and how things are is already helped a lot. I think getting off my chest and not dwelling on it internally, that's already helped quite a bit. You know what I've done? I've done something silly here. There it is. Something that you might not know watching these streams is that quite a lot of the time, my hands, like you can't see my hands because my hands are down. Down here sounds weird. My hands are, below the cut-off point of the camera. Something that you might not realise is that one of them is constantly messing about with one of these. Just the quiet bits. I have to fidget. I fidget constantly. Being still sucks. I hate it. It makes my whole body feel weird. I've got to be doing something. I've got to be messing with something. I got diagnosed with ADHD while in university. Medications helped me a lot. The only side effects I have has been reduced appetite. Oh man, that sounds perfect. That sounds perfect. I'm trying to lose weight. if I can focus on like one thing at a time and lose weight, oh hell yeah, let's go. I've always been like worried that you can hear me messing about with this. Like messing about with this on like through the mic, but I don't know that you can. But I also need it. I need it, alright? My partner finds that her ADHD is worse when she is poorly / run down. Yeah, it gets real. That is something that gets real bad if I'm ill. Really bad. Like, I will sit there and, like, start watching a video and then literally see something in the sidebar for that video or in the recommended for that video. I'll pause the video I'm on, I'll open the other one, then I'll see something on like that one, pause that one and go to another one. And then I've got like 10 YouTube tabs open of just random crap. And I've not, like, I get like 30 seconds to a minute 30 into each of them. I'm the problem. Like, when I see videos and people drop off after the first 30 seconds on my channel, I'm like, oh, come on now. But then I'm totally guilty of it. I'm totally guilty of it. Or someone will say something and go, oh, that's interesting. That's reminding me of this thing. And I'll go off into a Wikipedia rabbit hole. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I was supposed to be making a goddamn video. This is why I need to try and see someone about it and work out whether it's just something that could be, fixed with just, a bit of self-discipline, although I've tried that and it's not worked. Or whether it's something that's actually an issue. That's it, Sleeth. That's exactly it. It's so scary when I see suddenly that I just wasted 2 hours of a busy day doing nothing. That is 100% where I'm at constantly, and it's so frustrating. I will literally sit there and be like, what have I done today? What have I actually done? I recorded a 10-minute video, then I edited a 10-minute video, then I uploaded it. That was half an hour of the day. What did I do the rest of the day? And then I look, and it's nothing. It's just nothing. Nothing else happened. How? It's insane. It's so dumb. Okay, can't hear it, we can't hear it. Let me hear it, I want that ASMR. Well, to be honest, most of it is relatively quiet. There's just like there's a little clicky, and then there's a little switch. But I don't touch the little switch, because the little switch makes a bunch of noise. Because I think even down here, you can, yeah, that probably comes through. I recommend checking out Right to Choose if you want an assessment. It knocks years off the wait time. That actually sounds extremely helpful. Okay, I'll leave the Switch. I'll leave the Switch alone then. To be honest, I don't tend to mess with the Switch as much as the other stuff. I don't know why. The click annoys me. The click actually gets on my nerves. Something I do that I really annoy my wife during D&D. If I'm playing as opposed to DMing, I'll really annoy my wife because I have on these trousers, right, there's a zip. They've got like multiple pockets on them, and one of them is a zip, and I stress zip. So if we're in combat and things are going south, I will sit there and just like constantly just pull the zip up and down. And every single time she's like, I know when it's coming, so I stop before she properly whacks. But she is not a fan. She's not a fan of the stress zipping. That looks well done. All right, look, hang on. It's here. It's this zip. Look, that. See, that's all I was doing. That and bouncing my leg. I can get away with I can get away with like bouncing my legs. I do that a lot. I just sit there and constantly bounce my leg, but I just thought that at the wrong angle that would have just looked like constantly undoing and doing my fly up, which is not what I was doing. I stress sing when raiding in WoW, so I have to mute myself. That's... I mean, to be fair, singing is not the worst. It's not the worst. I can think of other, like, far more annoying habits, like the ones that I keep doing that. Hello, Pam. Sorry. I start scratching my chin when I get nervous. I mean, I think nervous-wise, I do a lot of, like, pressing the side of my head. But, yeah, when it's just, like, when there's just stuff going on, I just constantly move. You know what, Brian? Weirdly, I don't do it whilst I'm DMing. For some reason. Thank you very much for joining, Mr. Glitch. Hope the rest of your day goes well. Yeah, when I'm DMing, nothing exists below here. Nothing exists below here. There's the brain, there's the eyes, and then the rest of me doesn't exist for a couple of hours because I'm too busy trying to concentrate on what I'm doing. struggling with those things too, and my helping thing is dressing when getting up and grumbling, making my bed, but easy win to start the day. You know what? I've got a lot out of having a routine with making coffee in the morning. That's actually helped a little bit. I've started to get more done in the morning than I used to, purely because of getting up, going into the kitchen. Like, I'll get my kids their breakfast and stuff, take them to school, come back. I'm usually back by like 5 to 9 o'clock, and then I will make myself a coffee. Not an instant coffee. I mean, it's ground because I can't be bothered to grind my own, but I will make myself a pot of coffee and time everything, like between when the kettle stops boiling to pouring the water, then timing how long it steeps before I pour it, well, filter it and then pour it. And that for some reason that focuses me for like a good hour to 2 hours of the morning. Like it just kind of focuses me into whatever I need to do that morning. So that's been super helpful. I'm not sure why that makes as much of a difference as it does, but it does definitely help. I stim with my autism, took up knitting, so at least I'm being productive. Got a fidget toy so the family don't drown in blankets. Drowning in blankets is an excellent term. I like that. A friend of mine demolished an egg beater in his need for fidgeting. It now looks like an abstract art piece. God. I smoke when I'm nervous, stressed, or anxious. I smoke a lot. At one point, my therapist told me that we need to work on having, introduced the idea of what she called worry time, which is like restricting how much you worry about things to a certain amount of time a day at a certain time of the day to stop you from just spiraling all through the day worrying about stuff. And I got the most annoyed look, and I'm like not proud of myself for this, but I did feel that it was both a good kind of indication of me as a person when she said I want to talk to you about worry time, and I just looked at her and went, all the time is worry time. What are you talking about? She was like, no, we're not doing that. No, you can cut that out straight away. Always make a pot of tea first thing. I started doing it so I'd actually use my teapot, but it's become a proper ritual and started doing it for work. Yeah, there's something about the ritual side of it. Something about the ritual side of it that helps a lot. I'm not sure what it is, but it definitely makes a difference. It feels like it shouldn't because it's something so simple, but yeah, it does. If I'm not worrying, what am I supposed to be doing?
£10 from Fireho57. Hooray, I finally caught one of these live. Thanks for being such an awesome creator. Always look forward to watching your vids. Thank
you very much, Fireho. I'm glad you've managed to catch one live. I'm sorry this is such a weird one. Of all the ones to catch live. This channel is no longer does hobby content. This is now a coffee channel where you find out the secrets of coffee. I'm very new to coffee, to be honest. I'm very new to coffee. I didn't used to like it, and then what was it for? It might have been for the God Tier tournament that I did, that Mikey organised. And in the box for the invitation for that was a jar of instant coffee that was actually really nice, and I actually liked that instant coffee. And I was like, well, hang on, if I like this, I'd probably like actual coffee, right? I'd probably like actual coffee. So I started sort of trying to find out the best ways to do coffee at home, which a lot of it was people going, yeah, you need this machine that cost £500. I was like, well, I don't want any of that. So I ended up getting an AeroPress and just a couple of glasses that have got like vacuums in them, just because I can't down coffee. I need it to last a long time. and I started doing that of a morning, and it's done a lot. It's helped. Not AeroPress, sorry, French press. I love strong coffee, but my guts don't. That's, yeah, I mean, to be fair. James Hoffman is another YouTube treasure for the coffee fans. I've not... Okay, I'll have a look. I'll have a look at his channel. Routine is definitely something that helps me through my more neuro-spicy moments. Going for a walk each morning has been a big help. I need to start doing that again. That's fallen off the last 2 weeks. Really fallen off. But then, I mean, again, I feel like I keep feeling like I'm being unfair to myself. Like, last week, I keep looking at last week as like a total waste of time and like a total waste of that week, as though I could have just been carrying on as normal, when I was in so much pain it was giving me panic attacks. And it's like, clearly it wasn't a wasted week, and it wasn't me just taking the week off for, you know, shits and giggles, physically incapable of doing anything. But I don't know. I honestly think part of like taking a week, like having to have that time off, being forced into having a week of doing nothing because of being ill, I think part of what makes those weeks feel wasted, especially if you're self-employed, or like when you're doing YouTube stuff, is the rate at which YouTube, like, you see numbers drop. There's no differentiation between you having a bad week because you did a bunch of videos no one watched, and you had a bad week because you physically weren't able to make videos. It's the same. The drop is similar. The symbols by the numbers are the same. So you get back to looking at the dashboard, and it's like, yeah, you're earning like 200 quid less now, and all of these numbers are grey, and they've got little arrows pointing down next to them, which just activates the same part of your brain that previously goes, okay, what I did last time didn't work. It like trains you. It trains you to feel like you've messed up. It's not the best system for the old mental health, to be honest. It's not ideal. I drink pints and pints of coffee. I couldn't drink pints of it. I definitely couldn't drink pints of it. Smoke way too much tobacco. It keeps me sane, but I've no doubt my insides are a ravaged wasteland. Fidget by bouncing my leg like I'm trying to drill through the floor. Yeah. Coffee drip machines are fairly expensive, I think. The ones that I was looking at were, at least. But then again, I don't really know what I'm looking at, so... As I say, I'm a new convert to drinking actual coffee and not instant stuff, so... I like coffee, but my coffee machine takes too much time for me to set up. At least 2 minutes. Who has the time for that? So, I mean, that just speaks of having a very productive day, Helen. That's extremely productive. I find my morning workout helps me focus no end. Building my own home gym was a godsend. Oh, I don't have space for that. The only place that I could put that stuff would be in this room, and there is not enough space for that in this room. I'm trying to tidy this room up, actually, because it's got a bit hoarder-esque, which is not ideal. I'll end up on a film job for 9 months. Then I lie down for a month with burnout. YouTube needs to understand this and sort its algorithm out to stop people ruining themselves. It's... yeah. It trains you. It trains you. It really trains you to feel bad most of the time. The thing that you never want, right? The thing that you never ever want is when you so there's a little ranking thing. There's a ranking thing where you can hover over where your video is. So like it'll be like, I don't know, 3 out of 10. And then you'll look at it and it compares it to like the last 10 videos you uploaded or most viewed videos within a certain time frame. I forget which way it is, but it's like you do not want 10 out of 10. if you put 10 out of 10 on that latest upload, that means that that video is a categorical failure. You have messed it up. No one's watching it. No one's being recommended to it. No one can see that it's even there. YouTube won't push it to anyone, and it's not going to earn any money, and you've absolutely fucked it. You do not, you're like 10 out of 10 is horrific. You don't want that. And it does such a good job of making you feel like you've just failed horrendously. It's so bad. It's awful. I did used to do Nespresso pods, David. Actually, I did used to do those, but the machine, like, got on my nerves after a while. Sounds like you're looking at espresso maker, not... Quite possibly, Alex. Quite possibly. I live in a small flat and my home gym is in my living room. I mean, if we could get the kids to take all their toys upstairs, maybe we could fit a few things in the living room. Australia's too hot for a proper coffee, so we're doing iced coffees where you consume too much coffee. I need to start drinking more tea because my throat tends to be a bit mangled after doing a stream. So I need to drink more tea. Pavlov's YouTuber, yeah, it trains you real good. Who's the little dude next to the tanks? Oh, this guy. Okay, his little Stormcast lad. A little Stormcast caster. I've got him so that I can finish filling out an Underworld's warband. So I need to paint this guy, and then I'll have 2 Stormcast warbands. I'll have the Crimson Court, the Wormspat, and I'll have Hexbane's Hunters. Plus, I was thinking of using. I've got a big lad over there, a bigger lad. Is it the Vargulf, the Vargeist? The Vargskyer from Cursed City as Morlog, and then making some little lads to go with him. Because from what I've seen, people are pretty okay with, you know, kit bashed Underworld's warbands as long as you got the cards, which I believe I have. Let me just see if I've got this right. Chair, take over chair. Okay. So, a lovely friend of mine called Panny loves the Underworld stuff, but doesn't actually play the game. So, she very kindly sent me pretty much all of the why do I keep saying that? Underworlds. I keep thinking Night Vault. All of the Underworld's cards. So like they're just all in this massive box. So for pretty much for most of the war bands, I have the cards to go with them. So I can build up my the war bands, and it doesn't matter that they're not selling them with the cards anymore because there's so many. There's so many. I need to find a ring binder. I need to find a ring binder, and I need to find the dimensions of the cards so that I know what size card organizers to get. There's so many. There is so many. And I haven't got round to sorting them out yet. What? Okay. I might be setting myself up for failure here. Is that a stream? Is that a stream? Do we stream taking this whole... Look, like, this is full. This is full. Do we do what I could advertise as the most boring stream ever, where we just put these cards into a ring binder? Do we do that? Yeah, I've got the dice too. Got the dice. Panny's lovely. Panny's great. Very, very kind, very generously sent these over to me because they weren't going to use them. So, yeah, I mean, it would take so long, but... Oh, get over it. That was just my arse that time. Not even just the chair. He got my arse. So yeah, I need to finish this guy off because that is one of the warbands. And something that I have, they're the same as Magic the Gathering cards. Okay, that's perfect. That's great. Something else that I've got, because I thought this would be a fun video for the hobby channel. I've got 3 of these, right? 3 of these. So the ones that you just get, off like the... I think they were like the in-store model, or they're out of the painting set or something. I've got 3 of this exact guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint all 3 of these in like gold, so gold armored. But I'm going to do 3 different ways of doing it, right? So one, I'm going to airbrush gold. One of them, I'm going to do gold dry brushed over black, and another one I'm going to do gold dry brushed over dark green. And then, having decided which one I like more, I'm going to use that method to paint this guy. But I thought that would make for a fun video, doing 3 different ways to paint that model, because it's directly comparable that way, right? It's the same model each time, it's just 3 different ways of painting the gold. And then, that way, I can see what each looks like. And go from there. But I thought that might be a fun video to do. Yeah, done right. It's a different channel. It used to be Long Road Miniatures, but I ended up not liking I didn't like the vibe of it. I put a few videos up there, but it was too serious. I made it too serious, and it was too I don't know how to describe it. Oh, thank you very much, Alwood's Modelling Mayhem. That is a great name. Yeah, I just didn't like the style of it. I wanted to do something different to what I'd initially planned. So I've renamed that channel. It's already at like 3,000 subscribers, which is a bit mad because there's only 3 videos on it, and they're not remotely like what the new videos are going to be. But I'm just leaving them up for now until I can do something else. But yeah, the hobby channel is Horror Show Hobbies, and the reason I've called it Horror Show Hobbies is because it's going to be a lot more... It was previously Long Road Miniatures, which was a bit serious and a bit like kind of I'm going to get so much better at this and that sort of thing, which is fine, but I wanted it to be a place for all the mad stuff as well, like all the kind of weird stuff, and Long Road Miniatures felt like it had to be, here is a miniature and I'm going to paint it and get better with what I'm doing with it, which I do want to get better at stuff. But I also want to do weird things, and I want it to be more fun than I was making it. It was very calm and very quiet, and it was almost like, not ASMR-like, but it was not very... The energy wasn't right. I didn't like the energy of it. And it's entirely my own fault, because I was the one who made it. But I realised very quickly that it felt like I was unintentionally being a bit like Brent from Goobertown Hobbies, but I can't pull off Brent from Goobertown Hobbies. Only Brent can pull off Brent from Goobertown Hobbies. Really, what I wanted to do was bring the same kind of enthusiasm and occasional silliness that goes into this channel, but put it towards painting miniatures, modelling miniatures, learning how to sculpt miniatures, doing like weird projects that wouldn't really go anywhere on the previous incarnation of it, like this thing. This is going to be scenery for D&D. I know what I want to do with it. What I want to do with it wouldn't fit on what I was originally intending for that channel, but it would fit on Horror Show Hobbies, because the whole idea of it is I'm going to give something a go. I'm going to have a crack at it. It might turn out brilliant, or it might be absolutely terrible, or it could just give you nightmares. We're not really sure which way it's going to go yet. Either way, it's going to be a horror show, but it's also going to be a good time. So that's why I ended up rebranding it. So like things like this, turning this into a good piece of scenery for D&D, which I already started, but it went badly wrong. But that's something that I'm going to talk about when I do the video on it. But yeah, it'll be stuff like with these guys, trying different types of painting gold to see which one I like more, and then using that method on a much bigger model. It'll be things like painting my old Iron Warriors Warsmith and seeing if I can do a better job of an Iron Warriors colour scheme now. Loads of stuff like that. Things like painting awful horror show prints. Yeah, like painting this guy. Like that definitely falls under the category of just like, it's going to be a horror show because this thing is awful. But at the same time, I can throw something up there that's totally different, and it'll still fit the theme, you know. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking with that. I've got a few things that I've already kind of got planned for it, and I've already got some like some footage recorded, and like I know roughly what I'm doing with it. So yeah, I was planning to launch it in March, but that's when Peachy's launching his channel, so I might wait until after March. I might just get a big backlog of stuff. I'm planning on putting a Patreon up for it as well, purely because I won't be able to monetize the channel until it hits a certain threshold. So I'm going to have a big backlog of videos, hopefully, so that when it does launch, it will be like, if you sub to the Patreon, then you get the video a week early, and, you know, like maybe a tier above, give suggestions for the next video, that sort of thing. So, yeah. That's currently the plan with it. That's the plan with it. Have you checked out the game Verretwood? Folk horror skirmish, 4 minis in your cult in a grim woods. All this... Oh, okay. No, I've not heard of that. That sounds really cool. Verretwood. I have bookmarked that for later. Thank you very much, Jazz Hunt. It's true, David. It might not work, but then again, if it doesn't work, that's still a good video, because it can still be like, I tried this out. I tried it, and it actually was a horror show because it looked awful. But then I can just strip it and try it again, you know? I feel like there's just a lot more scope for playing around, being a bit silly, you know, like tackling things that maybe wouldn't fit on just a dedicated miniatures only channel, that kind of thing. Also, with it being horror show hobbies, it also means I can throw in the occasional curveball. Like, what I want to do, for instance, is I'm going to be replacing the pickups in my Ghost Fret, right? The pickups are fine, but I don't play the kind of music that they're designed for anymore. They're designed for like full on like metal, and they're very high output, and I kind of want something a little bit like a bit less heavy. But I've never replaced pickups before, Well, no, that's not true. I've replaced pickups in my LTD, but those were EMGs, so I didn't have to solder anything. Whereas I will have to solder new pickups in on that. That is something that I would 100% put up on Horror Show Hobbies. It's still one of my hobbies. It's something totally different, but it would be quite fun. And it could end up going horribly wrong. So it all fits. YouTube memberships better, Hatman Rich. They take less of it. We're recording the next Adeptus Ridiculous episode on Monday, actually. Yeah, Monday. That's the 26th, isn't it? Yeah. I'm still kind of in a bit of a state of shock that's a thing. In a really good state of shock. A really good state of shock. I'm not like it's not a complaint. I'm just really happy that they wanted me to come in last episode of every month. It's really cool. Hello, Sindri. Your fingers have fingertips, but your toes don't have toe tips. You can tiptoe, but not tip. Oh, God. Why, Kenneth? Why bring this to my attention? Feels weird. You know what? I've just looked at Verretwood and there's already... I'm already seeing a couple of Games Workshop bits at least there. What is that? What are those miniatures from? Okay, look at this. Look at that. Oh, God. Nope. There we go. Some Citadel skulls I see there and there. And over there as well, maybe. Are those Lord of the Rings miniatures that have been kit bashed? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'll have to properly... Are they the ring wraiths? Oh. Okay. It can go on the list. It's on the list. It's on the list. It's all right, David. I'm not going to start something new. It's fine. Don't worry. It's on the list. Sindri, actually, the second Baneblade idea. I was talking to Mikey about it, and I'm not going to do the second Baneblade on this particular tournament. I might do it in the future, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it this time, because I don't want to make other people's games annoying, right? Because the Baneblade doesn't fit between buildings anymore because of the new rules for terrain. So if I have two Baneblades, then, as he rightly pointed out, that means that roughly half the points of my army will just be stuck in my deployment zone, which is kind of funny, but it's also really silly. And not necessarily in a good way. Like, it could just be frustrating for me and for them, and I don't want to mess up other people's games by me bringing a meme list. However... Oh, pardon me, sorry. However, what we've decided to do is stick with the original 7 Lehman Russes. There's 4 down here. There's 3 up there. So 7 Lehman Russes, 1 Baneblade, and we're going to take 2 Knight Armigers as well. Because I really like the idea of the Baneblade having two walking like bodyguards kind of thing. So we're going to do that. That way I still get to use all my Lehman Russes. I still get to take the Armoured Company. I still get to take a Baneblade. But like half of my army won't be stuck in the deployment zone. And I also will have a couple of extra fun things to go with it. So yeah. I mean, I could have done 2 more Lehman Russes technically, but I don't know why. I really like the idea of having a couple of walkers in there. It's not like 100% in fitting with the original idea for the army, but it will still be really fun. Did the mic pick that up? Either a plane has just crashed, or... Oh, it's the bin lorry. Okay. It's the most loud rumbling I've ever heard. It's just a bunch of bins being dragged. Never mind. Just for a second, I was alarmed. I was really like, what? But it's fine. It's all good. We're fine. It's okay. I'm amazed that wasn't picked up on the microphone. It was really, really loud. Like, right from there. It was super loud. Oh, well, it's fine. Oh, the theme music, Kenneth, is some royalty-free music I got off Audio Jungle, and it's called Beautiful Space Theme V2 or something. It's not a catchy name. It's literally just a thing, just a tune that I managed to find and bought on there. Funnily enough, the Salty, the Armoured Company with the 2 walkers is exactly 2,000 points, which probably means that I'm going to have to rejig it before the actual tournament, because there's going to be something happening between now and then that messes it up. But for now, exactly 2,000 points. Well, I did think about Armoured Sentinels, Alec Man, but I want to do something. I want to do something fun, conversion-wise, with the Knight Armigers, so that's why we've gone that way. Yes, we are having a practice match. I mean, we've said we're having a practice match. I'm not going to lie, I kind of would like it if we had more than one. The other day I heard an explosion. It turned out some kids had set fire to a motorbike and it was the rear tyre exploding. Jesus Christ, David. I think the plan is to live stream a match, yeah. We're going to have to start with a disclaimer, though. It's been so long since I played 40k. The thing is now, right? Now I feel less bad saying that, to be honest, because for a long while there, the channel was only really 40k. But since I've kind of taken a step away from covering the rules all that much, and instead we're mainly focused on models and miniatures and the like, I don't feel so bad saying that I've not actually played for a long time. Because it's not just 40k that I'm interested in now, and it's not just 40k that I play, and I've played more AOS than 40k by quite a lot, and I'm trying to actively get together a bunch of Underworld's warbands because I want to get into that as well. And since we've kind of shifted focus more towards just the miniatures, I feel less like a disgraceful fraud saying, actually, I don't tend to play all that much 40k at the moment. But I'll just need to be reminded how to play the game. So bad. We do have a local hobby shop, David, but I don't tend to play there. It's usually just at friends' houses. Or here. Oh, happy birthday, Sassy the Sasquatch. Oh, I don't know if you can tell, but you lot have properly cheered me up. You've properly cheered me up today. I was really struggling this morning. I have to admit, the main reason I set the stream as being scheduled this morning instead of just going live at 10:30 is because I was toying with the idea of just not streaming, just not doing it, and then seeing if I felt any better like next week. I was really tempted to just sack it off, but then I kind of figured that if I did that, I wouldn't do anything for the rest of the day. I would actually just do nothing all day. And it kind of defeated the point where I wanted to be honest with you guys about how things have been going the last couple of weeks. And not talking to you and just ignoring it was exactly what I didn't want to do. So I'm glad I set it to schedule, because then it felt like I couldn't get rid of it. I was like, if I put it as scheduled, people will see that it was supposed to go live. And then if I just get rid of it, people are going to be like, what the hell happened here? And I will have to talk about this stuff anyway. So let's just stick with it. Stick with it and carry on. I do not live in the north, Jimmy Drussells. I live in the middle. How to play 40k. 1, throw a bunch of d6s. 2, gaslight your opponent and say you won. Oh, if only. I'd be great at that. This isn't a Yorkshire accent, Sassy. This isn't a Yorkshire accent. I mean, someone with a Yorkshire accent would be absolutely disgusted. Disgusted, I tell you. Birmingham? No, David, how dare... No, Birmingham. Again, wrong accent completely for Birmingham. Although I am cheating a little bit, because I am from a town that doesn't really have its own accent, to the extent where... Like, that's its most distinguishing feature. It doesn't really have its own accent. It just kind of picks up on other people's accents the more you spend time around them. Kind of impressive. We have no identity. We're just some place. East Yorkshire, best Yorkshire. Look, I'm not going to argue. Yeah, Jez, I do feel a lot better for getting it all out there and just, I don't know. When it comes to doing YouTube, I feel like it's just worth being honest about where you are. When it comes to making videos, making content, streaming, whatever it is that you're doing, it's worth being honest with people. The internet is like the biggest bullshit detector going, or at least it used to be. It's like, I don't think you can fake it. I don't think you can fake it for any length of time before people realise that you're faking it. And the whole, like, there's no point doing it if you're going to fake it. This is something that really bugs me. And I don't know, it's probably just because I have an inflated sense of, like, I don't know, honesty. I don't know how to phrase it. I don't understand why you would do this if you were just going to lie about it the whole time. And lie about, like, how much you enjoy things, or how much you want to do things, or how much you like the experience of doing stuff. I don't understand the people who lie about that kind of thing. That defeats the point for me. You know, if I'm not going to be honest, then there's no point doing it. So that's kind of the whole reason that I decided to stick with it and actually stream today after all. And there was no way that I was going to make you saw how I was when we started. Like, there was no way I was going to make a video today feeling the way that I did and not have people think, what's going on? You know, there was no way. There was no way that was going to happen. People would have asked questions and asked why I wasn't right. So I've just remembered what the thumbnail is for this. I couldn't help but throw in a little bit of bullshit on the thumbnail, could I? It's just been a really bad couple of weeks, Magnus, but I wanted to explain why it's been a bad couple of weeks and explain what's happened, and how rough it's been for the channel. And I have done, and everyone's been really, really kind, really supportive. So I feel a lot more upbeat, a lot better. I am also getting really tired again, which I can't tell if you can tell or not, but I am. Brian, it's not 50 accents, it's more than that. How many accents are there in how many accents in the UK. It's got to be more than 50. Oh no. Oh, damn it. I shouldn't have said anything. I shouldn't have opened my mouth. The top result says there's almost 40 different dialects. Damn it. I mean, that's still not bad. For how big the country is, 40's not bad. Oh, that's true. Dialect and accents are different, because dialect is like different words for stuff, isn't it? Whereas accents is just how you talk. Which actually means that the top answer to that question is utter nonsense, because it's not even answering the question I asked. So actually, there being 40 different dialects in the UK is insane. What? Like, I'm from here and I think that's a bit mad. So there's got to be like... Okay, so there's a noticeable change in a British accent roughly once every 25 miles. Wild. Why? Oh, the classic is all the different ways we refer to putting chips on bread. Yep. That's the way to start an argument. That is the way to start an argument. Every small village in England has some version of that guy from Hot Fuzz where you need at least 2 translators for a conversation. Yeah, you're totally right. And yes, it is a chip butty, but... I mean, there's even, like, the regional food thing. Like, you can't buy a pie in a bread roll here. That's not a thing that exists. But, you know, you go north a bit, you can buy a pie in a bread roll. Why? I don't know. Meh, I'm just lazy. I don't like having the little dudes on the tanks because I don't want to paint the little dudes. To be honest, it's mostly laziness. Yeah, it's like, what is it called? Pie in a barm, I think. Let me have a quick Google. This has gone well off. Yeah, in Wigan, you can have a pie barm, which is a meat pie sandwiched in a buttered roll. Oh, well, hang on. Yeah, it's called a slappy or a Wigan kebab. So even that is not... We've already got 3 different names for... So pie in a bun, except it's not. It's called a pie barm or a Wigan kebab. So that's 3 different names. I think... What is a slappy? Is a slappy the same thing, or is that the same as a chip butty? Oh my god. Is it sold you by a dodgy fella by the name of Cut Me Own Throat Dibbler? So, oh god. Pie barm or Wigan kebab is a unique English sandwich hailing from Wigan. It's also known as a Wigan sandwich. Jesus Christ. It's all it is a pie and a bun, and there's like 5 different names for it? What is this? I demand a pie and a bun. I don't have any buns or pies. Or I would maybe be able to provide that. Where my gran lived in Scotland, there was a racially inappropriate fish and chip shop that sold deep-fried Scotch pie that was then battered and deep-fried again. Oh my god. Jesus. Never asked for Swansea mutton. Oh, God, you're just making me Google horrible foods now. Although, I mean, a pie and a bun, that's not... Do I want to Google this? Is this going to get me on some sort of register? I'm not getting any sort of specific results off Swansea mutton, so I'm just going to leave it there and not dive into it any further. Oh, Pizza Crunch is just deep fried pizza. Of course it is. Why would it be anything else? Frying everything sounds... Well, that's the thing, though. I think America fries everything, don't they? But they don't batter it first. They don't batter it. The important thing is battering it so that it's, you know, covered in, well, batter. I'm just looking to see whether there's like a bunch of other accents that people have... I mean, mostly... Oh, Norway's full of accents. Okay. Deep fried sheep's bunghole. Oh, God. That's horrific. Why? Oh, a joke played on tourists. Okay, now that makes more sense. You can just deep fry pizza without battering it. Actually, you probably can. Oh yeah, isn't Mikey doing a K's cooking stream tonight? Did he decide what he was gonna be cooking? I mean, whatever it is, it's gonna be absolutely atrocious. Oh. Scotland just love deep frying things. They just love it. They just absolutely love it, and I don't know why. Wait, so special fried rice is what won. I'm not going to click it, because if I watch the video, then that'll mean that I've copied Mikey again. So I'm not going to do it. But I'm just doing a quick scroll through on the old thing. Although now I kind of want to know what he's going to cook. I kind of want to know what he's going to cook and how bad it's going to be. It's going to be bad, isn't it? Like, we know it's going to be bad. We know it's going to be bad. I'll save that for later. I won't do it now. Oh, I'm starting to go a bit. So any rumours for when the new plastic... Oh, God knows. God knows, Mayor. Who... Absolutely no idea. Whenever they decide that they randomly want to release it is when it'll come out. Games Workshop are very good at showing off stuff, and then they arrive a year later. We'll look at whatever food someone else has and say, you know what, that's just not unhealthy enough, add some cheese. Yeah, that's fair. It was only said they would come back with info on later on the release date, and then are out of stock. Well, yeah, that's true. Deep fried ice cream. Oh my God, I'm learning so much. I'm learning so much about random foods. Oh no, sorry. You know what? I'm tempted to go back, to go onto my own channel to see how awake I looked at the start of this, and then do a comparison to how I look now. Because I feel like the last like 5-10 minutes I've really gone downhill. In Scotland, you can commonly just hand stuff over the counter and ask them to deep fry it. No, that seems highly sus to me, and I don't know why. I don't know why it seems sus, because it probably isn't, but it seems it. Put anything in a bun with cheese or gravy. I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm alright with stuff in a bun. That's fine. It's just sandwich, isn't it? I think Nessie was caught and then deep fried. I reckon that's what happened to Nessie. Caught and deep fried. That was it. That's why no one can find Nessie. It's not that Nessie doesn't exist. Nessie did exist. And then Nessie did not exist. You can deep fry anything. You can deep fry anything if you try hard enough. You can deep fry mythological different. Yeah, that's what happened to the unicorns, to Nessie, to what are the mythological dragons? It's all the dragons. Deep fried butter is horrendous. Deep fried butter. Oh, ugh. That has genuinely done something to my throat. Like, I actually feel a little bit sick thinking about that. I need to think about something else. Oh, awful. Thank you very much for joining us, Sleeth. Yeah, I definitely, I feel way better. I feel way better. Thank you. Corn very spicy, Slanesh covered in butter. Seems as a mystery meat. Yeah, no, I would say that Slanesh, with it being excess, I'd say Slanesh is like a specialty food, like a luxury food, but too much of it. Too much of it, like caviar or something, like caviar with truffle on top. Or something, but like it's too much. Instead of a sensible portion size, it's so much that you end up feeling sick afterwards. That's what Slanesh is. Deep fried caviar, that's Slanesh. That's definitely Slanesh. Yeah, that's what Slanesh is. Deep fried caviar. Ferrero Rocher, what a reference. Slanesh is spoiling us, Ambassador. No, Kenneth, I've just gone tired. I've just gone really tired again. It's what's it called? Carbamazepine. It's the medication that I'm on for the neuralgia thing. One of the side effects is feeling sleepy, dizzy, or tired. And that particular side effect, I've got almost none of the others. But that one is absolutely destroying me. It's so constant. Oh, an occasional rash, just the odd rash. But only there. Only there. It's only happening there. It's weird. But yeah, it's just being sleepy. And it only happens most of the day. So I'll be minding my own business. That's kind of what I was talking about at the start of the stream, where like it's not even exerting myself. If I just do something that requires concentration for a bit, then not that long into it, I end up just falling asleep. Kind of one of the things that are just proving a bit frustrating at the moment. But then I get kind of torn because, like, if I keep going, then I'll probably be fine. But if I stop, then I'm probably going to fall asleep. And I don't want to stop because I've got too much stuff to do. But then if I just keep doing stuff, I'm going to wear myself out really badly, and I won't be good for anything, like, for the next couple of days. Garbage, I tell you. Hot garbage all round. I need a deep fried pie in a barm. That'll sort me out. A deep fried pie in a barm with Ferrero Rocher on top, and I'll be good. Oh, that sounds atrocious. Like, awful. Although, I don't know. A pie in a barm. I kind of want a pie in a roll now. I kind of want that. I don't know that it would be good. Well, I mean, what would it? It wouldn't be bad, would it? How'd it be bad? It's just a pie in bread. Bread's good. Pie's good. Jez is going to go and make some lunch. See you later, Jez. Thank you for dropping in. The sleepiness is only a problem when you cannot or don't want to sleep. If you are just free to take a nap, it's great. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that I'm struggling with. I've just got so much to do, and I'm so far behind on where I want to be. But I keep falling asleep. And it's not voluntary either. It's not me kind of going, you know what, I'm going to have a nap. I feel like I deserve a nap. It's just me sitting down, close my eyes for a second, and then that's it. I'm done for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Annoying. Custard sandwiches, absolutely not, Richard. No, absolutely not. As a southerner, the concept of a Wigan kebab is one of the best things I've ever heard. And it's so easy to do as well. Like, it's not even difficult. Just buy a pie and a roll and you're good to go. You're set. Oh, I thought pie floater was a... Is that an Australian thing? I thought that was... Oh, no, I'm thinking jelly deals. I'm thinking jelly deals being a London thing. The first time I heard about pie floater was in... what Terry Pratchett book was it? There's a Terry Pratchett book. The Last Continent, I think it's called. I think it's The Last Continent, where Rincewind and the wizards end up in Australia. Well, not Australia. They end up in not Australia. I can't remember what the actual landmass is called, but it's just sand. And they have boats that go down rivers, but the rivers are made of sand as well. Oh, now I want to reread that book. That was a great book. I say that, all of the Discworld books are really good. For me, the only real weak ones are the first two. And that's just because he was getting his bearings. Everything else, top quality. 4X, that's it. Yep. Oh, God, so good. So good. Hello, Ruskinses. I'm really sorry, but you might have timed this a bit badly. Oh, sorry. I'm off to paint Peter Turbo. Good luck painting Peter Turbo. Yep, definitely feeling a lot better. Thank you, Sassy. Oh, work's been going okay, Riskinses. A deep fried coffee. That sounds like something that mad chef guy. What's his name? Heston Blumenthal would do. Just a bunch of coffee beans, and then just deep fry them. Eat them one at a time as a snack. I've never had a raw coffee bean, but I'm guessing it's not good. Then again, I don't know. Might be delicious. Might be a delicacy. But I suspect probably not. Honestly, Colin, I think realistically, if I leaned back in this chair and closed my eyes, I would go to sleep. And since I am not streaming on Twitch and I'm not in a bikini, I'm not going to do that. Baked beans using coffee beans. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's just all such terrible ideas. Chocolate colour. Maybe. Maybe chocolate covered coffee beans. Be worth a try at some point. Literally no one wants to see that. No one wants to see it. Especially me. Are you allowed to do that on YouTube? I don't actually know if you are. I do have a Twitch account, but I'm not doing it. Baked bean pizza. Or no. Look, there's limits. There's limits as to what you should be allowed to do, and baked bean pizza is not. That's not allowed. Good morning, PJ McMurray. YouTube has content rules? Yeah, it's just a gamble as to whether they'll be enforced or not. That's how that works. Sometimes they enforce them, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they enforce them on people that haven't broken them. The rules are anything goes until you get caught. I mean, spaghetti in a can is... Well, yeah, okay. That's fair. I mean, it's basically just the same as baked beans in a can, but with really cheap, nasty spaghetti. You need to report back, Believer, and let us know how it went on. Need to give the chair a name. I don't know what. I don't really know what name would work for the chair. An old name, probably. Just chair. Chair the chair. Do it. We could do it like actually have it as the chair. So you got to capitalise the T and the C. I've put it in the chat, but I don't know what the delay's like, so that might be well before I've said it. But it'll make sense in hindsight, in retrospect. YouTube enforcing rules where you can't swear, meanwhile I get ads for pornography and cults. What are you searching for on your time off, Brian? the chair. That's a great idea. Chairly? Oh, John Ra, you're better than that. Come on. Yes, targeted advertising. No French. No French allowed. I can barely pronounce English. We're not doing other languages. I don't know why, but the chair is really getting me. That's my kind of stupid non-joke humour. Ugh. I can't even pronounce that last word, Mayor. I've got nothing. Oh, is that just stool? Das the chair stool. I just get 5-minute long adverts for terrible looking mobile games proclaiming they are the best ever. Yeah. Charity starts at high. Jesus Christ. It's actually getting worse, which is impressive. I didn't think it could, but it is. We're not doing sharing my chair face. We're not doing that. See you later, Magnus. Thank you for dropping in. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to be sensible, gang, because I'm really starting to flag a bit now. Jesus, chess doesn't even make any sense. Oh my god. If you have any messages for Doreen, now is the time to get them through, because I think I'm gonna have to. I don't like this, but I'm gonna have to go and actually have a sleep for a bit, because I'm fully out of it. I'm not just leaving the chair on. I don't know if that's against the rules or not, just leaving a stream running with just a chair, but I'm worried enough that it is that I don't want to do it. I'm not, I'm
$2 from Alec-Man24, E.
I love the E donations every time, Alec. Oh. Just E. I think like the last 2 or 3 you've done have just been E. Ravenous staring at chat. Wow, Harry, that is wow. Wow. Oh. Right. Okay, I'm gonna go and have a nap. I'm gonna go and have a nap, and then hopefully there'll be a video this afternoon once I've recovered a bit. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to vent a bit this morning and let you know what was going on over the last couple of weeks. And yeah, and for cheering me up, because I was feeling really naff. I was feeling really, really crap when I woke up this morning, and you've done a lot to sort that out. So thank you again. Hopefully I will see you later in some form of video, and yeah, have a good Friday. See you later, everyone.